Welcome to the final part of the lockdown series. Today, I will share how to stay on top of your goals in this season. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Detola Mure, as you know, founder of Super Okay Mom. I am back with another video, and today I wanted to answer the question that I got: how do I stay on top of my goals in this season? So firstly, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the videos or the Facebook Live that I have been putting out this week. The first one I did was on what you should be building in this season, and I answered the question: should I be charging for my services and products in this season? Go watch that replay if you haven't. Then the next one I did was on, what was it on again? How to stand out in a noisy world, because obviously a lot of people are moving their businesses online now, and so it might be hard for you to stand out in a very noisy world. But I broke it down on what you need to do to be able to stand out. Now today I want to share on how you can stay on top of your goals in this season. Clearly, with Operation Stay at Home, social distancing, everywhere closed, remote working, it might be difficult to do your work. In fact, it's not that it is difficult to do your work alongside helping your children with their schoolwork. Now, for a long time, I've been calling it homeschooling, but to put things in perspective, I have decided to change my language to remote learning. There's a difference, because homeschooling means you are actually teaching them, whereas remote learning means, because most schools are still sending in work for their students or for the students, and it's basically monitoring what they're doing. So I'm not actually teaching, although I am in a way, but it's not as vigorous as homeschooling. So I am changing my language to remote learning. That way it's I feel less pressured when it comes to my children's education right now. So yes, how do I stay on top of my goals in this season? Now, it's possible that your goals have changed as a result of the season we're in, but regardless of whether they have changed or not, the question is, how do I even achieve these goals? If I'm supposed to be building a business, how do I build a business when I have little children at home? And how do I go about that? Now, I'm going to share what is working for me. Obviously, you might have come up with a system or a process that is working for you. If it is, well done, keep at it, stick to what's working. I would share what I am doing, and hopefully it would help someone that needs it. So for me, the first thing I need to do is to keep think of the end in mind. What am I trying to achieve? Okay, what are my priorities for this season? COVID-19 has changed. Will I say has changed or has helped people reprioritize their what they need to be doing in this season? So the first thing you want to be asking yourself is, what are my priorities for this season? Now that I'm at home, on lockdown, I can't control the lockdown, but I can control what I'm doing during this period. So what are my priorities? List those things down. And obviously they must tie into your values. Okay? So they must tie into your values. List what your priorities are, who you are, who you want to be in this season, or who you want to become in this season. Because remember, on one of my last videos, I said you need to be coming out of this stronger. You need to be coming out of this better. You shouldn't be the same person pre-COVID-19. You shouldn't post-COVID-19. There should be a brand new you coming out of this. Okay? So, what are your priorities for this season? List them out. And what you want to do is kind of come up with an ideal weekly schedule. I run a mastermind type thing with one of my coaches. It's called the Empowerment Journey. And me and the ladies on there kind of walked through what that should look like. We all came up with our ideal schedule for this season. And obviously after, post COVID-19, things will change because you're probably going back into work, things, you would have different things and priorities that you're going to be doing during that time. But for now, let's focus on now, right? Let's focus on this lockdown period. What do I need to be doing? So come up with an ideal schedule based on your priorities. And it has to be hour by hour. Now, when I say hour by hour, it's basically a guide to help you know what you're doing. So for example, for me, my kids wake up at 9 a.m. now. I don't bother trying to wake them up early, and I'll explain why. Because I use the early hours of the morning to try and get my work done. So that once they wake up, I know that we're focusing on remote learning, and then I can sneak out to come do my quick video. So right now they're doing their work indoors, but I'm here. Yeah, I had to come out because let's just say this is my office for this period. My car is my office, because if I try to do anything in the house, it's going to be interruption upon interruption. So for now, decide what am I doing in the different hours of this. So you can break it down into the morning hours, into the afternoon hours, into the evening hours. So first of all, key thing, you need to be waking up earlier than your family in this season. If you want to build your business or if you want to get stuff done, you need to be waking up earlier to spend time with God and to get your work done. So like I said, my kids wake up at 9 o'clock. So during that period, I'm not able to do a lot of, any work for myself. I'm helping them, logging on to the computer to find out what the teacher has sent in and whatnot. And the only reason I've been able to do that is because I have pinpointed the times that I will be doing my work and when, the kids will be doing theirs. So hour per hour, you want to have maybe between, if you wake up at 5 or whatever, let's just say 5 to 6, maybe prayer time, or 5 to 5:30 prayer time, 6 to 7. I'm using myself as an example. In your family, it might be different. You need to find what works for you. So outline what you're doing in the early hours. For me, I've identified that early hours is for mommy. I get my work done. That is not the time I come on social media. I shut down everything else. I don't come on social media. I mean, I might come to get something. Maybe there's something I need, maybe a link or something. But I make sure that I'm not scrolling on social media in the early hours of the morning, because that is when I'm meant to be focusing on my work. That is when I am doing, working on my business or working in my business, whatever the case is. And then from 9 till 12, it's kids' time, getting their work done and whatnot. So you need to write all of those things down, and then throughout the day. But now let's go back to the time where you've identified it is your core hours. So if we're using the morning hours like me, where I say between 5 and 8, it is those hours you want to focus on. What are you doing within those hours? Because it's very possible. And again, I still can't see any comments. Oh, there. Awesome. I can see the comments now. Thank you so much. I was wondering, I was like, am I just rambling to myself here? But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the comments. And let me know if this is resonating with you. Okay, if it is, share these videos with other members of the group. Let them come here, how they need to be staying focused, how they need to be on top of their goals in this season. Okay, because with the kids at home, it's going to be, it's a different ball game for everyone. And so I'm sharing what's working for me. So you've decided that the morning hours are your key areas. For some people, it's maybe late at night, maybe 12 midnight when the kids are in bed. You now want to decide, what am I working on in those hours? What am I going to focus on in the hours that are mine? No disturbance from the kids or anyone else. And this is where this tool comes in. Now, obviously, I'm going to talk about the Living Purposefully journal. But you can use any journal. You can use any notebook. It really doesn't matter. You can use anything. The particular reason why I love the Living Purposefully journal is because it helps me to break down what I am doing. So I do like a brain dump, and I will show you. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can show you quickly. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to show you what I've written, although it doesn't really matter. Okay, you might not see my writing. So, can you see? Let me make sure that so in there it says daily brain dump. I'm trying to. Can you see that? Is that clear? I'm not sure if it's clear. But let me just read out what it says. So on one side, on this side, because I'm holding my phone, and on that side, it says daily brain dump. So that is where you list out everything you want to do for that day. In no particular order. You just list it out. As it comes to your mind, you list it out. You know, do that, declutter, clean, send this email, blah, blah, blah. Right? Then it is on this side. Is it clear? Can you see what I'm showing? It is on this side that you now prioritize into must do's, should do's, and could do. So the rule of thumb is that daily brain dump. From your you I think you have the journal, so you know what I'm talking about. It is in prioritizing. To prioritize, you now need to decide if there's only one thing I get done today. What would that one thing be? If there's just one thing that would move me closer to manifesting my dreams or fulfilling my goals, what would that thing be? That should be the first thing on your list. Okay, so always start with that. And with some, if you're a business owner, it would probably be an income generating activity. It should be an income generating activity. Does that make sense? So anything else that is not income generating mustn't necessarily be on the top of the list. Well, this is my guideline. That's what helps me, because sometimes I have all these numerous things I want to do, and I'm like, which one should I go first? When I use the guide of, is this an income generating activity? If it's no, it doesn't go on the top of the list. But if it is, it will. So for example, a number of you would know that I'm promoting the digital transformation program now. So my must-do's would have something to do with sending out an email or reaching out to someone who's asked me a question on if the program is right for them. Those are the activities that are going to go on top for now. Now, there are other methods, and I don't want to go too much into that now. And the reason why I'm using the income generating activity as a guide is because your time is limited now. When we are post-COVID, you have flexibility of saying, I'm going to batch all my emails and do them at a particular time. And in the morning I will do. So I don't want to go into all that. I'm basically sharing what is working now, because our time, even though we have a lot more time at home, it is still limited because we still have to pay attention to our children as mothers. Okay, so if you're not if you don't have children at home, then you might not necessarily have this problem. But for me, because I know the only hours I have to work is really between 6:30 and 8, because I pray and whatnot, and before then when I wake up at 5, I want to make sure I am working on things that will bring income into the family. Okay, so if it means that normally things like phone calls, I leave them till the evening. But if someone reached out yesterday and said, oh, I need to know if this program is for me, blah, 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 and they're available to talk in the morning, then I am talking to them in the morning. Does that make sense? Okay, so you want to prioritize. What is the one thing that if I do today will make today worthwhile, such that even if the kids wake up right now, I'm fine. It doesn't matter if I don't do the other things on my list. As long as this thing is done, it's fine. Write that at the top of your list. Then the second thing, must do. Then the third, must do. And then you can now write other things you could do or you should do if you had more time. Okay, thank you for those that are joining. You might need to watch the replay to understand where we're coming from, to answer the question, how do I stay on top of my goals in this season? So you really need a tool. You can, like I said, you can use a notebook, but I use the Living Purposefully journal. because it helps me capture exactly what I should be doing on a weekly basis and on a daily basis. I mean, it does a lot more. It helps you focus on, we're going to be starting a new month in a few days. So that way you can start afresh, because it helps you to break down your monthly goals. So let me see if I can find that page. So when we start the new month, April, here you want to be writing your high level goals. Again, I hope this is clear, right? And they should be using the rule of 5. You want to write 5 high level goals for that month. Then you're writing things like your appointments down there. Okay. Then over here, you have a monthly brain dump as well, where you write everything you want to do in that month. And then it has like a calendar thing. Can you see that? So you put in the dates, because every month has a different, every month begins with a different day, right? Yeah. So you put that in, and then you can put high level things that you want to do for that month. You put them all in there, blocks. And then from there is where you now begin to plan your week. Okay? So for this season we're in right now, you need to be more intentional, because the kids are home. Your time, even though, yes, you have a lot more time, thankfully, but it's still kind of, part of it is not within your control in terms of trying to help their children with their schoolwork, with their remote learning. And you also want to find time for yourself. You want to find time to build your business. So if you're just starting out a new business, you want to be able to itemize the things you need to do, prioritize the things you need to do, and get them done. Decide the hours in the day where you are going to get your work done. And like I said, for me, it's in the morning, early hours of the morning. After I've done my quiet time, I get straight to work. Because once my kids wake up at 9 o'clock, then I need to go focus, on what they are doing. So for you, you could be, if you're not an early riser, it could be late at night, maybe 12 midnight, or from the time the kids are in bed. That's when you do your work. So figure out what works for you and stick to a plan. Prioritize the activities you want to do and make sure they tie back to your priorities. Okay? They mustn't just be random things. They must always tie back to your priorities. And the truth of the matter is, if you don't plan, you just find that the day comes and you're like, oh, I know I have a lot of work to do, but I don't know what to do. That's why you always have to plan. I do a lot of my weekly planning on a Sunday. I call it Sunday Vision. And that's one of the things I teach the ladies in the Super Working Mom Academy. So I hope that makes sense in terms of staying on top of your goals in this season. For those who are starting out, if you're planning building a new business online, or you want to grow your existing business, then you want to get on the digital transformation program, because it is going to show you exactly how to build your business quickly online, everything you need to know, how to attract your customers, how to attract your ideal clients, how to package your services and your products at the right price. What else? How to generate content that your ideal clients will find valuable. You want, the DTP program shows you all of that. Okay? I hope that made sense. I hope it helped. We don't know how long we're going to be on lockdown for, but we can still make sure that we're being productive. We can be in charge of our time and how we are investing in our time, because we still have 24 hours. Just because we're on lockdown does not change the fact that we all have 24 hours. It is still the same 24 hours, but it is what we do in those hours that really counts. Okay, I'll put up the link to the digital transformation program, and also to where you can get your Living Purposefully journal. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you got out of this. Let me know what you're going to be doing differently when it comes to staying on top of your goals in this season. Again, stay safe. Stay at home. Don't go out except you need to. Wash your hands. Once I get back into the house, I'm going to wash my hands. And hug your family. Spend time with your family. Make this time at home worthwhile for you and your family. God bless you and take care. Bye-bye. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this lockdown series. Please leave a comment, like and share this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Till next time.
God bless.